Going up to look at an area here that we've sort of reworked a bit recently because there was a big bush. You'll see how well covered this area is, and then we move up compared to this area, not nearly so much through at the moment. But this was an area where we took out a small shrub and rhododendron only a couple of years ago, and this is how we populate an area, how we plant it up. So we'll start with various things. You'll notice the mulch, we use lots of mulching. This is shredded winter prunings, but down here we have just the lovely little primrose coming through at this time of year. A few more here that we split off and planted in, and around here there's all sorts. It's nice little Trillium seedlings coming through all over the place. What I'd like to look at over here is go over the back. Podophyllum plyanthum here. It's one of the podophyllums that make giant leaves, but what I find is quite a curious feature is as it pushes through the ground, the first thing to come through are its flower buds. These buds stick up and come through the ground first, because it's quite interesting, because if we look over here, as the plant develops, these flower buds disappear under the leaf and the flowers are totally under the leaf. So it just seems odd to me that a plant that pushes its buds through the ground so prominently and then hides them when they're in flower. So what else? Looks like a bare patch here, but right down here, little hairy Sinensis just coming through. Called Sinensis because of the hairiness, I suppose, makes them look like old men. And another interesting, really nice little, very dark Trillium grandiflorum. This is one of the Gothenburg pink Roseum grandiflorum, so Gothenburg pink I think it's called. Here's another one here. You can see how dark the foliage is, and then a mass of other Trilliums, the erectum type. I can't remember what all these are going to be. We'll have to wait and see when they flower, but I just planted out seedlings from the seed pots and just stuck them in. There's one going to flower, so we'll find out what it is. Obviously the erectum type. Over here, bigger ones that flowered already, so, and they've got flowers on too. And then round we come here to a group of erythroniums, but just on the way I'm spotting this Trillium ovatum. Really nice. I think it's a beautiful plant, Trillium ovatum. And then we have the erythroniums here. Lots. We have over to this one. What's this? We'll look into the flower to look at the filaments to check and see what it might be, and this is Oregonum. You can see from the shape of the filaments, so a nice Oregonum. And as these are seedlings, you can see the yellow zones. If we look at some of the others, these are sister seedlings to that one, darker central zone. And some will have nice brown markings in the centre as well. But again, if we look at the shape on those filaments, you can see how they expand towards the base, and they're broader at the base. Very similar to this one, which is the pink. This is Erythronium revolutum. So these two plants are indeed fairly similar, but quite distinct in species. And then down here I notice, not open at the moment because it's not warm enough, it's still early and it's a bit misty, and something's eating it, which is a shame. This is Erythronium japonicum here. There's its leaf there. Notice how quite a nice broad leaf, but let's look at this one. This is Erythronium japonicum leaf as well, and look how broad that is compared to my hand. Much broader than my hand. And this is a single leaf on this plant, which indicates it's not quite big enough to flower this year, but it will flower next year. And there's more in here, just opening here. This is, hopefully it might flower later in the year. This is the Veratrum fimbrifolium. Some of you may have read about that in the recent IRG. And here we go. So that's just the number of plants you can put into such a small area, and as you can see already, we've had Corydalis caucasica and the Eranthus flowering already, and seedlings everywhere, letting things self-seed. There's all sorts of seedlings down here, and that's it. Once we get these plants established, the idea is just to let them seed around. Now what's this? Is either going to be a Pneumocoris or Could be Fritillaria campsiotensis, but difficult again to tell. So there we go. That's a small area. How much we can cram in. In a few weeks' time you won't be able to see this bit of the ground because all these other plants, the Sinelsis, will be through. The podophyllum leaves will have expanded and all the Trilliums will have come out and be looking good. So it just shows you, even if you only a small bit of garden, you can create a lot of interest.